What does it actually feel like to run for Congress? Since I launched my campaign, I told myself that I always wanted to be really honest about that. You know, I can whip out Instagram right now and watch probably 100 different day in the life videos of 100 different jobs, but no one talks about this one, what it actually feels like to run for Congress. I think I would have expected it to be lonely, but it's not. It's kind of the opposite, and I know lonely pretty well. I first came to Virginia when I was 21. It was the first duty station that the Navy sent me to, and candidly, it wasn't my first, it wasn't my second, it wasn't even my third choice. I didn't know a soul in the state. My ship was put up in the yard. She was just back from a deployment, and I wasn't part of that deployment. So there were cliques, there were in-jokes, there were shared experiences that I wasn't part of. I was on the other side of. And that's not even to mention that I was the first openly queer kid to ever serve on board that ship after Don't Ask, Don't Tell. I had nothing to do when I got home each day. I needed a hobby that took a lot of time and was cheap, so I started running. I started running really long distances, sometimes in the dead of night, and a lot of times on like streets and neighborhoods I didn't know, just taking random turns until I was tired and went home. I went on a run the morning I announced my candidacy for this district. You know, I launched this campaign back in July, but I'd been working on it behind the scenes for months and months and months before that. And so launch day was a big bundle of nerves out the wazoo. My manager, my campaign manager, God bless her, you know, she knew that I was going to be like that. And she called me at 7 a.m. on launch day because she knew I'd be awake already. And she told me, Mike, you should go for a run. You'll feel better if you go for a run. And so I did. I ran past a few neighbors who were out walking their dogs who knew me from just around the neighborhood. I ran past the home of a constituent who I had worked with on some trail planning and an easement. I ran through a park that me and my peers on the Board of Supervisors had opened after years of planning just last year. And I ran home where my husband had gotten breakfast all ready for me, and the house was all made up, and my dad was there at the table because he had come up from South Carolina that day just to watch the campaign launch. And later that day, near 100 folks, you know, people I knew, but other people I didn't, came to join me and talk about the future we wanted to build for our country. Point being, I know what it's like to be lonely. I know what it's like to do lonely work and to run through a neighborhood where you don't know anyone. And this isn't that. There's a lot wrong with how we do politics in this country, with the role of money and the media. And I would be glad to chat with you about any of those things next time you see me. But the human element's still there, and I don't think it's going away. Every day in this campaign, I've spent talking with folks. Running for Congress, it's just like you're a live, exposed nerve for your community, and folks want to pour their anger and their ideas and their hopes into you constantly. And holding that, it's a really big weight, but it's such an incredible honor. Today, I'm ending my campaign for the 5th Congressional District here in Virginia. And leading up to that decision, the thing that's really racked me is feeling like I've let down folks, that I've dropped all this weight I've been asked to carry around for y'all. So I just want to say it's been the honor of my life to run this race, to speak, you know, the words of some of your anger at a world that is breaking at its hinges and leaving people behind, to be a stand-in, even if just for a moment, for all of our hope for a better future. This campaign is ending, but that hope isn't ending. Our community isn't. This right here between us isn't ending. Thank you so much, and take care.